And welcome back again, guys. Silas here today. It's actually pretty late in the day right now. It's almost 4 o'clock, but I thought I'd take you guys around. I've bought a lot of really cool antique cars and trucks here lately, and I have not shown them to you, and they've come in at different times. Some of them came in when I wasn't even here last week. I recorded a tiny bit yesterday just to finish up a previous video, but other than that, I haven't recorded anything for a week and a half now, so it's been a little while. I'm a little bit rusty. I'm not sure what order to show you guys these cars, so I guess I'll just start right here and we'll walk down the row. First up on the list is this little Dodge Polara. I have not looked at this car at all other than just glancing at it. We actually bought 2 of these. I'll show you the other one in just a minute. It looks like there's no motor or tranny. I can actually see through the grill, so there's nothing under the hood of this one. 4-door hardtop. That's kind of unusual, I think. I think most of these that I've had before have been 4-door sedans. Looks a little rusty, but maybe it has some good parts. Oh, push button automatic. There you go. It's kind of a neat seat in this. It's like part bench, part buckets. I kind of like that. That might be neat in an old truck or something like that. Have to keep that in mind. Looks like it's got a lot of good parts on it. Lots of good chrome if anybody was into 4-door chrome. I don't know, these cars just aren't super popular. These Polaras. Is it Polara or Polara? I'm not sure which way you're supposed to say it. Next up on the list, we got this old square body. It's a 4-wheel drive. I believe it's an automatic. We'll check it real quick and see. Yeah, it's an automatic. Tilt column, pretty rusty truck. I mean, it's pretty rusty. Someone did a fancy paint job on this thing. It's pretty beat up too. Just an old farm truck they use around at the farm. I believe my dad told me what engine is in this. I haven't actually checked it. See if I can get this open with one hand. Nope, can't do it. Yep, it is. It's got a 400 small block in it. You don't see those as often as you used to. I used to crush them all the time because they were so common. Core buyers didn't even want them. But you don't hardly ever see them anymore. The guy said it still runs. I don't know what was wrong with it. He didn't really specify. He just said there was lots of things wrong with it. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if it actually does run. I really don't know. It's 4-wheel drive though, so it's got the axles, the transfer case. It's got that 400 in it. The transmission, if it's good. It's got a pretty decent flatbed on it. So there might be a future for that truck yet. I don't know. I kind of have to wait and see. Next up, this one came in while I was in Colorado. An old Imperial. I think this is a 54. Is this a 54, guys? I don't really know. They bought it at an auction for the Hemi that was in it, the way I take it. They pulled the Hemi out and they didn't want the rest of it. There's the grill out of it. I glanced inside this one, but I haven't really looked at it that close. Must have been an old fluid drive. It's got some really neat gauges in it there. It's really not very rusty, just a little bit back here on this quarter panel, but there really is just no market for these cars here. It's definitely an interesting car though. It's got lots of chrome on it. It's got a pretty good front clip. That's probably the best part of the car is the front clip. It's been taken apart. Like I said, the grill's laying inside it. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this one here. I may wind up, I say it was a decent front clip. I forgot about this big crunch over here. So I think with this in here, the best thing to do with it is go ahead and put the grill back in it, kind of put it back together a little bit, put some headlights in it and chop it off for wall art, pull off a few parts off the rest of the car, and probably just go ahead and crush this one because I really don't see much on here. I don't know. I'll give it a chance. I'll see if anybody wants to buy it or buy parts off of it. But then after that, away she's going to go. Let's check out the trunk. All sorts of goodies in here. There's a tranny cooler right there. Those used to be fairly valuable items. Some air breathers. All sorts of miscellaneous junk in here. Some carburetors, bunches of carburetors it looks like. Huh, I'll have to kind of dig through this a little bit. Oh, here's an instrument cluster. What's that out of? What do we got here? Oh, an old Chrysler. Yeah, that's like a 51, 52, 3, somewhere in there. A little bit older than what this car is. That's kind of an interesting piece. That'd make some good wall art. Good craft project. Yeah, a lot of the emblems and other valuable parts are already gone. It does have decent taillights in it though, so those might be something. And I think the emblems are still on the fenders, so those are probably worth a little bit. A few dash parts, probably some interior parts, then the nose. And I'll see if there's anything else worth saving on it. Worry about it another day though. Here's the other Polara. Now this one I have seen. When we actually went and looked at this one, the guy said he had 2 of them, wanted to know what we'd give for both of them, and we gave him a price. I don't even remember what it was now, but these got brought in about a week ago, week and a half ago, something like that. This in here was the parts car he was going to use to fix the other one, the way I take it, and then he wound up finding an even better one, so they both became parts cars, because this is just a 4-door sedan. And so then he was done pulling parts and just wanted them gone. But this in here is really, really, really rusty, but I believe the engine is still in this one. Yep, she's got a leaning tower of power in it. Probably stuck. Just by looking at it, it's all taken apart, so probably nothing valuable there. This has got another one of those split bench seats in it. If I can get the door open, door doesn't open. Looks like there's an extra grill, kind of a neat steering wheel, make a good wall hanger. Rest of the dash is gone out of this one. A few extra pieces of chrome in the back seat. See if the back door will open. Whew, there we go. Yeah, there's a few neat pieces laying around in here, and I really like these seats. I don't know why I like them, but they might be a use for those. I'll have to measure them and see what the width is compared to like the old trucks. Those old mail trucks over there, I know you guys are wondering about those. Here's some more cool stuff on the back of this. I know you guys are probably really curious about that, but you're gonna have to wait. I recorded a video about 3 weeks ago where I got those, but that video isn't out yet. It's probably gonna be either my next video or 2 videos from now. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This is kind of an experiment video, and I am getting way, way, way out of order. I have, I think, actually 5 videos recorded before this one that I need to edit and post. But there was an issue last Saturday with YouTube where they demonetized my video I posted, and it did really good, the video did, and I didn't make a single penny off of that video, not even 1 penny. YouTube says they have it fixed, but I don't know that it's fixed, and so I'm going to be just completely transparent. This is kind of an experiment video. I thought I'll take you guys around, show you some old cars, I'll edit, post it real quick, we'll see how it does, and if I actually get paid for this video, then I'll go ahead and start editing the really cool videos again, because I do not want to post a couple of the videos that I have recorded because they are really, really, really cool stuff, and I want you guys to see them, and if something falls apart, I'll go ahead and post them eventually anyway, but I would really like to get paid for my time that I invested into these. I don't make a ton off of these videos, but that last video would have made me a little bit of money because it did so good. I know a lot of people think I'm just absolutely rolling in the dough and I'm a multi-millionaire, and none of that's true. Before I started YouTube, my bank account was overdrawn. But that's okay, people can think whatever they want to think. And while I don't actually depend on my YouTube income to support my family, it's nice to have that extra income, and I'm not going to be posting my best videos if YouTube's having issues right now. So this is just an experiment video to make sure YouTube's going good, show you guys some cool old cars, and then we'll go on with life, and the next few videos will be really interesting. This old Plymouth here, I have not looked at this car at all. I set it up in here, my dad dumped it out in the road, and so I picked it up, set it over here, and I have not looked in it once. It's an old 2-door sedan. It's got some dash parts in it, it looks like. Got a neat steering wheel. Super, super, super rusty, so it's definitely not worth fixing. It's got some interior in it, but I don't know if these seats are worth anything or not. They might be because they fold forward. I don't know if that's a rare thing or not. Still has the old flathead engine on it. I don't know if it turns or not. I'll have to put a bar on it, check it later, but I'm gonna guess that it's probably stuck, although I have seen them out in the weather like that still turn. I think the hood's laying around here somewhere. I saw it earlier. I'll have to find it again, but there's no fenders, so there's really no wall art on this one here, so I don't know what I'll do with this one yet. It's kind of a neat trunk section. I don't know. I'll kind of have to think about this one, try to come up with some ideas. It does have some pretty good rear fenders. Maybe somebody will want those, but these Plymouths are just kind of dead cars. They really don't have a whole lot of value, even in good condition. It does have a neat mirror on it. I just noticed that. Clamp-on mirror. So that's worth a little bit of money, and it's got the remnants of a visor on it. I'll kick it around. It's not in the way over here in the trees, so we'll let it sit for a little while, and maybe I can come up with an idea to do with this. And here's the 61 that I unloaded at the beginning of the video. This car here was at an auction Saturday while I was out of town, and I knew it was really rusty. I saw a video where they drug this out of the trees probably 2 years ago, and they yanked it out with an excavator, and it just completely ripped the entire front end of the frame off of it. I mean, it mangled it underneath. Car is super, super rusty, but it does have a 6-cylinder in it still, and it's a 3-speed on the column, which means it has all the pedals set up that's the same as a 4-speed down there on the floor. So that pedal and brake and all that bracket and everything up in there is worth a little bit of money. It's got a lot of dash parts in it. It's got a good steering wheel. It's actually got a decent windshield on it, believe it or not. The windshield's completely usable. And then the hood is actually still pretty good, despite the fenders being just completely rot boxes like they usually are. This hood is in pretty good condition, so I think somebody will buy that hood. It's got half of a good bumper. This side over here is kind of mangled, but that side over there is actually still decent. And the little runners right there are still decent. In the trunk, I think, is an extra door. Yeah, it looks like an extra door in there. And the back bumper is not too bad on this. It's got a few other miscellaneous trim parts, like around the rear window. And I know this is just a 4-door sedan, But these Impalas, even the four-doors, are pretty popular. I guess this isn't an Impala, this is a Biscayne, but these Chevys, I guess I should say, are pretty popular, even the four-doors. So I think the trim around the rear window itself might sell because it's a 61 only. There's a lot of 61 only parts on this car here. That grill is probably workable. It's not that mangled. Over here on this side, it's a little bit bent up, but if somebody just wanted a driver quality grill, that in there is probably fairly easily fixable. This side of the car isn't nearly as bad as the other side, but it is really, really rusty. One interesting thing about this car I forgot to mention is that it's got matching license plates on it from 1976. Now, Kansas had pairs of license plates up until 1956, but in 57 they went to singles. Then they just had them on the rear. So as time went on, Kansas decided they were going to go back to 2 license plates. I forget the exact reasoning. So in 1976, for only half of the year, they had 2 license plates, and everybody squawked. And so they said, okay, never mind. And so they quit doing it. So it's kind of uncommon to find a matching pair of 1976 Kansas license plates. And yes, this car is sold. I didn't actually sell it for money. I was going to make a crushing video out of this car is what I was going to do with it. I was going to pull the hood off of it because that's probably the most valuable piece on this car. Maybe a few dash parts, and then go ahead and crush the rest of it. But a guy wants it. He wants to go ahead and part it out all the way. It's got other parts on it too. Like I said, the rear end, the clutch pedal, all that sort of stuff is pretty valuable. So he wants to part it out, get the most money out of it, and he's going to trade me something really, 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 really cool for it. I'm not kidding. What he's trading me for this is going to be an absolutely awesome video. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I cannot tell you what it is. It's going to be one of my favorite videos I've made in a long time. I have been wanting to do this for a long time. And so he told me that he got these things, and I said, I have to have one of them. And he says, they have to be crushed. And I said, that's okay. That's exactly what I want to do with it. And that's your one and only clue. If you guys want to know what it is, you're just going to have to wait until later in the year. He's from out of state, so it's going to be a while before he brings it to me and picks this car up. But when it happens, it's going to be an absolute banger of a video. There's the old Chevy I got in Nebraska. It's actually sold. I'm not sure what else is back here for old cars. I think you guys have seen all these. That car there we drug out of the trees. That Scout was actually sitting here when I bought the property. That was one of the few cars that was left out here still. It's pretty rough. It's pretty stripped out. But the door's laying inside it. The hood's laying inside it. And I think the top for it is laying, yeah, back there in the trees. I've got one more really neat truck up here. I'm walking up there now. But on my way up there, prices of scrap have absolutely tanked, and they've tanked hard, and they said they're probably going to continue to tank even lower. This is the lowest it's been since the midst of all the lockdowns and all that stuff, and it's only slightly higher now than what it was then. The only difference is fuel is a whole lot more now than what it was then. So the profit margins are virtually non-existent at this point in time. So we pretty well quit crushing. So what we're kind of doing now is I'm going to be working out here a lot, trying to process some of these old trucks, some of these old cars, get stuff more organized. We've got a bunch of cleanups that we still have to do where we already paid for the stuff. So hopefully now I'll finally have time to get some of this stuff done. And here it is, 1951 Ford F6. This was at an auction last Saturday as well. There were actually a bunch of old trucks there, but I wasn't able to go. I wasn't able to inspect them. And so I didn't want to pay too much for them without actually seeing them. And so a lot of them other people bought. But this truck here I did manage to get. It's pretty straight. Somebody's repainted it through the years. It does have some rust right here above the bumper. And then in the cab corners, it has a little bit of rust as well. Right there. Now this truck here, I believe was one of the ones I had parked inside the shed. It wasn't actually in the barn, it was just in the shed. But you can see it's very dusty inside, and it still has carpet in it. It's not a solid rat nest. The seat's not all broken down, it just needs recovered. The dome light even kicks on when you open the door, so it's got a lot of things going for it. One of the coolest things going for it is this right here. Listen to this. It's out of gas now, so we can't get it to start again, but it does run. Let's see if I can get the hood open. One-handed as usual. There we go. Now originally, this was a V8 truck. As you can see here, someone has taken the V8 flathead out of it, and they have put a rebuilt 6-cylinder in it. This thing runs really good. It's got new plugs, new wires in it. They've done a lot of work to this truck over the years. They've made it a pretty nice truck, and with just a little bit of tinkering, this will be a really nice truck once again. The tires are pretty well shot on this one. They're not much good. They do hold air, but beyond that, look at these cracks. I mean, extreme weather cracking. Now usually these tires have tubes inside them anyway, but I have seen them to where they get so rotted that the tubes actually come out the side of the tire. I think the rest of the truck is a very usable truck. I have 2 people interested in it. One of them is looking for a parade truck, and he's tried to buy several of my trucks before, but he never likes the colors, and I don't think he likes the color of this one either. He's very picky on that. Another guy is from up northeast. He kind of wants it. He already bought one truck from me, that Chevy I bought at an auction a while back, that real nice one, and he would like to buy 2 trucks to make a load of it to haul him back home. So he's thinking about this truck here. He's supposed to let me know later today. Well, I was gonna fire the loader up and go out there and bring that Ford truck in, stick it over in the row. Unfortunately, the batteries are dead in the loader. I got in there, and yesterday it was kind of acting a little bit funny when I started it, and it kind of turned over hard, and I thought maybe it wouldn't start at first, but today I get in there and it just click, 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 and the batteries are completely dead. Now they're pretty old. They're inside of here. I opened all this up earlier and checked them out to see what was going on, and they are very, very old batteries. I'm actually shocked they lasted this long. So I'm gonna have to run out to Walmart later, or my dad might run out there and get some new batteries for it. Now you may say, why in the world are you getting Walmart batteries? Why wouldn't you get real batteries that are actually good quality? Well, we used to get Interstate batteries, and the Interstate batteries have a 1-year warranty, and the last 3 of those that we've purchased went bad at 13 months. Right after the warranty expires, the batteries went bad, and they do not prorate their batteries. Once the warranty is expired, it's expired. That's it. You just buy another one, and they're $200 and I think $50 or $60. You can go out to Walmart and you can get the exact same size of battery for about $175, and it has a 3-year free replacement warranty on it. And I mean free replacement. You walk in there and say this battery is bad, they say okay, and they hand you another one. Anybody who runs equipment, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do not use Interstate batteries. They are the junkest batteries in existence, and they're very expensive. I have never really had an issue with a Walmart battery. They seem to work just fine. And in fact, I've very rarely had to actually warranty one out, because they usually last well past the warranty. Like I said, either me or my dad is going to run out to Walmart tonight and get 2 new batteries for it. We'll get it going later in the week. I dug out my rack so I can start putting these trucks in the air again. This rack was a little bit buried. I couldn't quite get to it, and it wouldn't have taken much to dig it out. I don't know why I didn't just do it. I guess just, I really don't know. It's kind of silly on my part. But that makes getting underneath those trucks to cut the stuff underneath so much easier than laying on the ground in the stickers. I filmed a video about a week ago where we had to lay underneath the trucks in the stickers and cut them up, and that was not fun. I don't know why. I just should have dug it out. That's what I should have done. But anyway, it's dug out now, so I can start processing. processing some of these trucks. I have the cab off of this one sold. I'm probably going to go ahead and cut the nose off of it while I'm at it, and try to get them processed, get them knocked down, get the chassis, what's left of the chassis, stacked out back out of the way until prices of scrap go back up. Hopefully I'm going to have a little bit more time to do stuff like that now that prices of scrap are down. And honestly, I kind of hope scrap stays down for a while. I'd be happy if it stayed down through spring or even next summer, just so I can get caught up a little bit. And I think that's going to be all for this one, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for bearing with me with this little experiment I have going on here. If I post this video and it's monetized and everything works fine, then my next couple videos will be a lot more interesting than this one. And that's not saying this video wasn't interesting. You guys haven't seen these old cars, and I don't know when I would have showed them to you. It would have been who knows when. Plus, you got a little bit of behind the scenes info on what goes on over in the YouTube world. I want to unhook my trailer. I've got one more guy coming to pick up an old camper that came in, and then I am gonna head out. With that being said, as always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.